With 1 month left before its release, we had the opportunity to play another demo of Tales of Arise, and while I have yet to play my first Tales game, I did ask help from our friend Rui to check the demo out with me. Rui is someone who has played a number of Tales games growing up, and she took me through the nostalgia, excitement, and surprises during our 3 hours worth of gameplay. And wow, all I can say is, there were so many highs. Based on what we've seen, the latest mothership title of the Tales series brings us to a new universe, involving a much improved narrative, all while retaining the themes that made Tales a one-of-a-kind role-playing game throughout the years. This includes heroes who want to challenge fate within the dichotomies of clashing worlds, grim cataclysms, fruitful journeys, engaging character interactions, adorable creature sidekicks, and many, many more. My name is Rob from Geek, and here is a more in-depth look at the first few hours of Tales of Arise. The game begins with a short explanation of its universe's history. As the player, you get to be familiar with the role of the main protagonist, Alphen, in the destitute society that he is in. Getting acquainted with the primary controls of maneuvering the characters throughout the environment lets you speak with NPCs and trigger dialogue, which provides you with a solid understanding of the current lore of the game. Following some action-packed CG cutscenes, you are now to meet Xion, the next main protagonist. You are then thrust into the first couple of fights, which introduces you to the gameplay proper and where you officially start your adventure. I can happily say that the gameplay for Tales of Arise is highly remarkable and pretty much nostalgic. You got arts usage, unlocking hidden arts, equipment allocation, and of course, custom fashion items. Now for the fights, you choose between Alphen and Xion as your main playable character. However, shortcuts for immediate character changes in the middle of battles have yet to be introduced in the demo, as well as the Tales series' notable after battle skits. But hopefully we will get to learn more once we play the official game release. Alphen fights with a sword, juggling between ground and aerial moves, and has dodge skills which enable you to save HP if you timed it correctly, while Xion shoots enemies from afar and is also your current party healer, since she possesses the skills that allow her to consume CP or cure points in battles. Combat was smooth, flashy, and enjoyable. Mostly. I praise the combat as I found myself comparing it to certain aspects of FF7R's battle system, which in my eyes is still the gold standard of modern day RPG combat. However, my biggest gripe about the combat as a first-time Tales player was how I discovered that enemy lock-ons are non-existent in this game. This was probably my biggest point of frustration, as there were a lot of times that I was just hitting air when I attacked, especially when I was using Xion, whose gun kind of requires a bit of precision, especially when fighting against very skittish enemies. I will be fair though, aside from that one glaring aspect, I absolutely loved the flow of the fights. Going back to CPs, which is a new feature in this game, I actually found this quite the interesting mechanic, since they cannot be replenished by simply attacking an enemy during battle and refilling the point gauge, unlike other Tales games. You may only refill these CPs via certain methods in-game, like resting via the Camper Inn. This for me gives healing a whole new dynamic to consider. You can't be too careless when you fight, and you can't just rely on healing magic to save the day forever. This also gives a nice layer of importance to resting up the party at camp. So yes, be smart about your CPs, as it's quite a bummer to be drained of it in the middle of poking around. Heal sparingly, dodge when you can, and remember to rest to replenish your CPs. Boost attacks and support attacks by party members are also a great highlight in gameplay. Getting in a bind? Once your boost attack gauge is filled, the diamond figures at the lower left of the screen just press the assigned button of the character to blast them with their support attack. Pretty cool, right? Imagine how it'll be once there are other playable characters that have become available. But it doesn't end there. Tales of Arise also introduces Boost Strikes, which can be triggered once certain conditions are met in battle. These are highly powerful attacks with visually appealing animations akin to that of a finishing move of a playable character. You have to be alert when the strike prompt appears on screen, or you'll miss out on a chance to debilitate your enemy. Now another thing, according to Rui, like most Tales games she's played, you are able to assign battle strategies and priorities for each of your party members. This time, the game has made it quite specific, very much like the Gambit system of Final Fantasy XII, allowing for fighting flexibility and better character initiatives in battle, which can dictate the course of the fight for you. Will you need immediate healing? Consume items while in battle? Prioritize attacking? The options are laid out and can be changed at any time by accessing the game menu. You'll also be able to improve and empower your characters by unlocking them using the skill points you acquire during battle. The more SP you have, the more skill panels you unlock, so get those fingers ready guys, because grinding will become your best friend while playing Tales of Arise. Moving forward in this game is pretty linear. Simply complete the main quest to progress in the story. Of course, as with any RPG, you may also opt to do some side quests and grind some levels by exploring other parts of the map. Tales of Arise is not fully open world, but the expansive environment enables you to explore every nook and cranny and discover a lot of things. I'm happy to report that the game includes a helpful directional mark that indicates your distance to your goal or destination. So don't worry about getting lost should you decide to stray off the beaten path or if you want to poke around in other parts of the map. You may choose to dash or to walk, and there is more flexibility with interacting with the environment, opening treasure chests, foraging for herbs and food ingredients, and picking up stray supplies for crafting and foraging weapons. You can thrust yourself off a ledge with ease as compared to previous Tales games, which required a button press every time you wanted to climb down a ladder or a cliff edge. Of course, exploring around will have some random enemy encounters, but at least you can easily pinpoint where the monsters are and avoid them if necessary. It is also great to note that NPCs play a vital role in this game. Chatting up with villagers and other side characters allow you to discover more about the game lore, as well as additional information to proceed with the story. Also, don't worry about remembering which NPCs you've already talked to, as their speech bubbles indicate if they're offering a new dialogue or not. And for completionists out there like me, this is a godsend. Speaking of dialogue, character interaction skills and conversations are prevalent throughout the game, even in camping. Not only will you be able to cook food to up your status for the day, but you get to witness interesting conversations with your characters as well. Skits appear randomly. They can be triggered by story progressions and other discoveries, so do watch out for them. I love how Tales of Arise had improved their skits from the usual 2D sprites to full CG animation spiels creatively rendered in comic-like panels. It's a slight deviation from the classic, but the character skits still hit deeply right at the heart. We want more. The excellent storytelling, the lore, the gameplay, these only further intensified our excitement for the upcoming release of the game. Frankly, I think Tales of Arise is the culmination of the many good aspects of gameplay from existing games of the series. From graphics to smoother gameplay, they have improved so much. Not to mention the gorgeous character and environment designs as well, of course. There's so much to look forward to and so much to discover. It's a game to fully immerse in, to take time with, to invest in. Here's hoping that the full game lives up to the small slice of what we've tried. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below, and why not subscribe? You guys have no idea how much it helps us out, and we're releasing more and more videos week per week, so please do stay tuned for that. This has been Rob from Geek, and till next time everyone, keep on gaming.